Oh, well, seems like this week is rounding down of like the first week of Trump. Saturday will be a whole week. But I guess he's been real busy doing executive orders. I guess, like, because Obama had to do a lot of executive orders because the Republican Congress wasn't cooperating uh, at that time with the president and the White House. So, but um, uh, it's just because business will have to continue. But I found it very disturbing that one of the things that he is attacking is the idea of fossil fuel and how it affects our climate. And like today, even though we are in Memphis, it is south. I've lived here long enough to have a lot of cold Januaries, I promise. But it was like in the 60s. Don't worry, nobody cares or notices too much. But it got cold. I woke up cold. I'm, I'm sitting up straight. Um, I'm just I'm so disturbed over this whole matter. And he's gonna stop, or he's gonna have the pipeline continue, trying to continue the pipeline, and it goes right underneath the reservoir, which is very disturbing. And all that land around there, and that's where they had to, where we have to disgrace America more by uh 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 doing more harm to our indigenous people than has already been done on them. It's just like beating a dead horse. We have to sometime have a little humanity, self-respect. But you know, so I guess you could say that Trump administration is. I wrote this down, is committed to energy policy burdensome. Anyway, I was writing a few things down, but eh, I'm really not really prepared. I'm just so disgusted. You know, Exxon, Mobil Corp, Chevron Corporate, right? I can't say Chevy, but they're the gas company. All these big people are in the pocket or like associates with the Trumps. And these are the ones that want to regulate our nation's resources, energy resources, just the oil. And he's like, I guess that people are not gonna stop driving cars. Like if you see famous rappers, they'll get some like $150,000 car with like a Volkswagen engine basically in it. I mean, like, really, what do they think they're getting for that money? Nothing. Sometimes they're getting a frame that at high speeds would not hold up. But so we are very dependent on oil. Exxon, Mobil Corp, Chevy Corp, um, they really want this pipeline. This Keystone, um, um, because China needs the oil. Now, uh, they did a documentary, I guess, where they called China the bicycle something, which I thought when I know a lot of people here in America, when they saw the Chinese on the bicycles, they started riding bicycles to work and stuff because they were like, wow, the Chinese are healthy. And then you learn more about how bad their air is and other problems that they have. Capitalism, it doesn't really work. It seems, and I think that is one of the problems, is that we think capitalism doesn't work unless we have extreme poor, extreme risk, you know, um, and like there's some other problems with some of his nominees, the people that he had nominated. I mean, I don't even know what the thing about some of them. Um, I was listening to Elizabeth Warren uh, um, talking to some of Trump's nominees, and I'm thinking these people are corrupt. They're tainted, you know. Uh, and with their amount of money and the damage they do, it's no longer, you know, they're it's it's now just sort of a narcissist. You know what I'm saying? They, there's no reason up in North Dakota to have tanks, to have fire hoses, to have dogs, to have private security, to have the National Guard and the local sheriff and police department up there, you know, and basically, you know, and I've been on the other end of the police. That's a lot. They will harass you, you know, they will tear up your shit. You're not gonna get reimbursed for it, and to them, that you'll see them laugh, you know, at stuff that you know, I personally wouldn't do it because of my moral and conscience, and I'm not a narcissistic person. You know, I don't really get any, well, not really. I get no pleasure at all from somebody else's pain. I'm sort of the person that like, you know, I empathize too much, which you know I thought was a big problem. Like when you're around your other friends, and you know, like you know what I'm saying that you know, and like they're doing, you know, bad stuff. You know, I've always been that one that, you know, didn't really understand why some people did certain things, you know, like uh that was hateful, revengeful, sort of jealousy shit. Um because I find that people that well, I find that getting back at people that are like that works better. Not doing anything that I don't believe in. Like the old folks say, I ain't studying that shit. But like if you do something like because they all do the same thing. It's just like when I visit the church, the synagogue, and the women groups. You know, the Muslim, the whatever. I noticed one thing that they do have a way of poisoning your mind. You know, like how like I'm alluding to like one of my being with my friends and they're doing narcissistic stuff. One of the things is like they'll try to poison your mind to that person, like you know, like telling you like oh all the bad things about this person. You know what I'm saying before you get to meet them. So then when you get to meet them, you're like first thing is like you know it's like you know you're gonna you know be standoffish because of you know what I'm saying. And sometimes you know when you meet them, yeah, maybe they are that, but you know um, um, if you know what I'm saying. But if you're empathize with just a human plight, you realize nobody's freaking perfect. It's just a degree in their attitude and how they was raised to respond. If they was like whooped, you know, that was their parents believed in. Like the only way to teach your child is just the discipline and whoop them. You get people that can't explain things and always want to strike out and hit you. You know, because if you don't agree with them or you don't understand them, you know, you don't understand them right away, they're gonna dismiss you as stupid. You know, not a comfortable place to be, but a great place to be if you want to be left alone sometimes. And and then his other executive orders going back to Trump. Okay, he has like one, two, three, four, five, yeah, six cities: Libya, Sudan, Somalia, Iran, Iraq, and Yemen. Those are the places that like he's gonna stop these Muslims from you know coming to the United States. And I think that one of the biggest the 9/11 uh, they were already here on a student visa, um, and that was like right when the colleges Like when they started letting in the people from Middle East, I remember that's like the college when I rates went out like astronaut. It just went off the roof. The for each class just got real expensive. So he's gonna stop these people. He signed an executive order to build a wall, which they're gonna build a wall. And right now, like you really have to have a passport to go anywhere. So it's gonna stop Americans from coming in and out more so than it's gonna stop people from coming in. You know, because the tourist industry is a big industry, and it's not gonna stop. Uh, uh, even Trump's going to want to fill up his hotels and have people use his golf course, this, which might be a direct violation of the Constitution, but that's neither here or there. But anyway, so so after they build this wall, they're gonna build the walls, and the next thing is martial law. So they're gonna build a wall, and then we're gonna have martial law, and it's gonna be the poor American citizens. You know what I'm saying? Because like right now, Trump administration is not acting like the president for the American people. They're acting like they're president for their special interests. You know, and which are Exxon, Mobil Corp, Chevron, uh, for instance, and which has nothing to do with would benefit the citizens of the United States, which would be like to have clean water, to not have the pipeline, to not have fracking, right? To not have guns and water hoses pointed to American citizens up in North Dakota, to respect reservoirs and waters and people's holy land. That would be in the best interest of American citizens. You know, not claiming the man of their land to pursue uh, uh, um, an oil line that would pump it straight to China, which he's starting shit with China. So thank God that the people over in the Middle East that are going on with Syria, um, the war over the Middle East, Iraq, and all that over by Turkey. And like, let's face it, him blocking Mexico off ain't gonna stop nothing. Because yes, we all know after the hearings of Oliver North how the CIA and the FBI and even local, marshals help filter cocaines into our high schools and our schools, and a big prostitution ring. It was a big thing. And we all know this. So, but we also know that Russia has a big prostitution thing because Putin just praised the prostitutes, and we know that Turkey right there is the heroin grower of the world, the opium grower of the world with their poppy seeds, or I should say the heroin supplier, pretty much. Number one. Let's just put it that way. They have some competition, of course, in South America. They try, and so not only do they have oil over the Middle East, they have a lot of the pharmaceutical drugs. And with him repelling Obamacare, it's going to help out like the traffickers from Turkey, and they just come. They don't come up from Mexico. They go. They either like if they can, they just Turkey. They go right there through Alaska. And like anyway. Or you could come down, hop the islands down the South Pacific Islands too, and just come right into Seattle, Washington, come right into California, go into part of Canada, and just um, you know, those people from that area, even the Muslims or whatever, the Caucasians, easy for them to come through. No problem. Nobody's gonna stop them. You know what I'm saying? And because of the color of their skin, or anything like that. If anything, a lot of times because they're white, they they might have get overlooked. And so that's why they use them. So basically, what I'm trying to say is that so far, all his policies stem not to benefit the American society, not to benefit the average Joe, to speak, not the one that us working class folks, 9 to 5 people, but it's going to benefit the oil companies, the pharmaceutical companies, uh, and the banks. Um, and what I was thinking about, it was a good thing. I remember the news briefing with the White House, and I can't even look at the new guy. He's not giving any information. It's like there's something hostile, hateful coming out there. I guess it's that. I guess it's just. The worst thing that could happen that I've seen, like if you study the past, is when the government or the city or the state hides or lies something. Usually, uh, um, you end up with worse stuff happening. You end up with murder, war, um, eh, you know what I'm saying, to cover up the lie, And usually, the lie in itself wouldn't cause the damage. You know what I'm saying? Like, for example, Trump saying that he had the largest crowd at his inauguration ever, and it's just not being true. And he's getting mad at the newspaper and the journalists, right, for just stating the facts. But nowadays, everybody has a cell phone, has a camera. So it's not just the news people that are reporting that. It's the actual people that was there, regular citizens. So in a sense, he's not only calling the journalists a liar, he's calling American citizens a lie. Which is not a very nice. It's not very nice. He's not being very nice to American citizens. And he wants to treat American citizens the way I guess he was taught to treat women, and that's disrespectful. It's like, oh, because I got money, I could grab your pussy. You know what I'm saying? The only problem is now that he's gonna be dealing with women that are not attracted to men because they have money, because these women have money. They don't have to do a business deal with you. You're gonna be meeting, people that are running whole companies. I like to, you grab somebody's pussy, you think you just kiss them, throw that tic tac, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, people kiss hello, but you know what I'm saying? But anyway, I think what's going to happen is that, well, like I was thinking, thank God it has nothing to do with the talks they're having now over the Middle East, about Muslim. I'm glad that was very smart of the administration to leave the United States out. The arrows were like, ha ha ha, they don't want you in there. At first they couldn't. And I could see Josh, I wanted to explain it to him, but he just, he handled it not like this new guy, but he handled it very respectful, articulate, and still informative without giving out anything that he didn't want to give out. Respectful. And this is something that we're lacking with this new guy in his press briefings. You know what I'm saying? I just think that shows that he's not well informed, which might be the problem. Um, you know, where Josh was very well informed. So let me get off of here. I just very disturbed of Trump's new ideas. I see that his ideas it's not for the American citizens. It's not going to benefit us. It's going to do more harm. That's what I'm alluding to. And you know, and their thing about going into the past, we'll have to go before we got invaded by the Europeans, which were the British, the French, and the Spaniards when they came here. when the Native Americans was running here because they had food from sea to sea. You know, yes, right now we are totally dependent on the oil industry. I don't know any body in this neighborhood that, and this used to be an area where you used to feed, clothe, and house your own self. You know, you built your own damn house. You know, this house was built by my uncle, my aunt. Back then, men and women, worked together like they thought they was like one. You know, um, not like today. He was just probably having. Like, yeah, you do have men and women working together, but they had a different mindset, more dependent. So we are totally dependent now on these corporations for are like the basic things that a person needs just to survive, which is food, uh, food, shelter, and clothing. And now they want to just possibly change our water even more so than it has been polluted. And our air. And it's just common sense on the cars that there is a high amount of CO2 and I think that if we could have some people like Snoop Dogg or I can't even think of anybody's name. I guess Snoop Dogg. He's about the same age as me. uh, a whole bunch of them, but anybody rich, Beyonce or them. If we saw them being more responsible, maybe having electric cars or something, or maybe having solar panels on their houses or invested in windmills, um, it'd be nice. And, fuck the sneakers. I'm sorry, these sneakers are all starting to look alike, and I miss the old Nikes from like before they went overseas when they used to make them in the United States. And then those were nice, but I'm really not. Anyway, let me get off here. It's 22 minutes. Oh my god, I'm talking a long time, but I think we're gonna be in big trouble, and I think that the wall's gonna be built, and we have martial law after that. And we're going to have American citizens point guns at American citizens. I think the police are already trained where they're insensitive to where they won't mind shooting because they proved in the past that they could kill Americans, and the courts will let them get away with it. So I think we're going to see a massacre of American citizens by American president.